Good morning, it's VJ Franz K, and here I am looking at Paint Studio VR. Yes, it's another Paint app. It's a new one for Oculus Quest. I think it's just getting out of early access, or maybe still in, but trying out the brushes and such. And here's the studio. Actually, it's in the middle of a city street in what looks like Paris of the late 19th century. It's a different look than most of these other VR Paint apps recently. Like, all of the different apps, they have their own look. And the question is, does the look matter with what art you want to do? And I would say it does matter a little bit, because you'll be in a slightly different frame of mind when you use it. But still not a huge difference. Anyway, so I'm using this brush, and as you might have seen, I recently have been using Painting VR, which it's sort of different. It's a modern hipster or graffiti art sort of look to the painting, and it happens in a warehouse. You have spray paint and other things like that, where here it's sort of the classic Vincent van Gogh or Toulouse-Lautrec or these other artists of the Moulin Rouge. Let's see. I like the feel of the brush generally. I did a little testing of this beforehand. I like the brush at a very light touch. You can get some nice pointed lines, and it's like a high quality brush of the kind you would be dealing with in the real world. What I don't so much like is when you're using the brush and then you put a lot of pressure onto it. You sort of grind it into the canvas there, and then it starts to, the control is less realistic at that point, because I guess they're trying to simulate you literally can't put your hand through the object, so they're simulating it, even though your actual hand can pass through the object. It's just your VR hand is limited in that way. So, I don't know, maybe they could turn that on or off, depending on whether you want full realism for not being able to go through it, or you just want to say, maybe let my hand or a brush go through it a bit. So I can stack it on the table here. I'll try one of these other brushes. Non-pointed round brush. I can pick opaque, translucent, or transparent. I seem to like the translucent the most, because you get a bit of that real feel of, you can still see the paint below a little bit through what you are putting down. That's realistic. Yes, you can move around this quaint virtual space here. Move the canvas up or down. Yes. So, in addition to this palette over here, you also have cans of paint. Big release in the news. Saved work. You can press on that pole to turn on the radio with classical music, which I turned off so I wouldn't get a copyright. Let's see. Also, there's this vase to paint and a tennis shoe, which, yes, it's too modern of a shoe to really be in this scene, I guess, but don't talk about that. There's this rotating thing, which is good. Rotate it left to right. Is there a way to lock it? I guess not. So you'll always have to, if you want to spin and paint, but you could play a classic video game or something and go left and right alternately. Can I paint the inside? I can paint the inside, that's nice. And I noticed, yes, you can pick it up. Oh, I see. It's not really a hollow object, but you can paint the bottom. Bring it over here, put it somewhere else. And there's that shoe. Looks a lot like a Chuck Taylor. And I can paint the inside. Can I paint the inside of the... I can paint the inside of the bottom. And the rest of the bottom. So with this you could do a sort of graffiti art thing. Yes, right, so you've got both sides of the bottom. Make your custom shoe or whatever, but let's see. For that I would want one of these smaller brushes, of course. But let's see. So I have that one, I have this wide brush. I like the sort of antique look on these brushes. Once again, it adds to that feel of being in a different time. So, if that's something you like, consider this one. This app, I'm liking it so far. Yeah, it's coming out like a weird face or something. Just going with it. Stuff will magnetize, or if you let go of it, it'll float in midair for a while and then disappear. So that's kind of cool. It is a dreamlike feel to it. Can I pick up the shoe? Paint it? Yes. So I could carefully paint details on the shoe if I wanted to. Can I paint on my hands? Nope, can't do that. There's got to be some limit. Because of course in VR every structure that you can paint on has got to be, computer has to calculate and memorize contents. Let's see. What else haven't I used? Now I used the rollers to sort of lay down the stuff before I started recording. I use a bit more roller here. So pick it up and bring it. The rollers are not very the rollers are not that realistic. I noticed it's so the simulation that could be improved, but it basically acts like a huge brush that doesn't roll. Notice it's not even rolling, but it still basically solves the purpose. Also notice the roller can't be saturated with multiple colors, unlike some of these other painting simulations. So you're only laying down one color at a time no matter what you do, even though if you're using the transparent paint you do, or translucent, or some of these, you do, wow, that's kind of weird. and it could be the look of light watercolor or something. But turn it back to translucent again. Just get more coverage out of there, but you can see. And earlier when I was using it, I was getting like, see, there's times when it doesn't register at all, which is I don't know, sort of unrealistic, but it's still just out of early access or still in it, so. And I do have this eraser, which, say I'll erase my shoe here, part of it. Erase, wow, see, just big square erase. It's a perfect sort of digital style eraser, so don't erase unless you really mean it. I don't think there's an undo on here yet, so oops, dropped the shoe. Oh yeah, so I wanted to try this, the washing thing, since I've already washed most off. Wash. Special dome. Cleaning the shoe, cleaning it. Perfect. I guess I could press the disc also to save the shoe in a certain state, but yeah, I just erased it. Okay, put it back. Put it back. And is there any brush that I haven't used yet? I guess not. So I'll just go back and use some more of I'll use some more of this white brush. Like it. So now it doesn't need bright red. Sort of going with cool colors in the background there, and then bright colors as the foreground of this person. So that's nose, and then here's lips. Oh, of course, lower the canvas. I guess I can't resize the canvas, but that isn't super important, I guess. Maybe they'll have that later. Alright, I'm sort of ruining it or making it silly. Once again, my brush, once I start grinding it into the canvas, it's not quite realistic, even though that texture, you can see that this is a really heavy, this is a really sort of thick canvas with a lot of fabric texture to it, which is more than I've seen in these other VR painting simulators. So once again, it's that look of the era. I think before I finish this video, alright, I'll try and save it. It's not a masterpiece that's going to hang in the Louvre or anything, but... And I guess all of my tools are ambidextrous. I haven't tried if I can use two brushes at once yet. So here's a camera. I'm going to point it at the thing. Hold the save button and it goes poof. Oops. Walk over here. That is odd. I wonder why my paintings are not saving. Oh, loading painting. Oh, well, I guess it got destroyed. But that's okay, because it recorded the video, and it, as admitted before, it's not exactly a masterpiece. But, yeah, that happened before. Don't quite get it. But what happens? Can I pick up the entire canvas? Nope. Can't do that. Alright, what else could I do? Alright, well, it's not obvious how I might clear the canvas. So I have these large cans of paint here. So pick up the teal. Can I pour the paint directly on the canvas? Nope, not on this particular app. But I bet. Drop it in. Paint. Paint. I'm getting glitches there. Let's see. Alright. So grab it. ArtstudioVR. It's a good start. The brushes could be considered smoother on this app than some of the other ones that I've tried, even though their overall realism is slightly lower. But I'm still using, wait, I'm not using any kind of paint right now. So also we have these buttons, which pixelated color palette, curated color palette, gradient color palette, I see. So we get to pick, and the curated color palette is, these are sort of classic colors that you see in impressionist artwork and stuff like that. So that could help you once again get into the zone. Like that blending there between the colors as I'm sort of overlapping them. Let's see, can the brush run out of paint? If I keep painting for a long, long time, does it ever run out? No, I don't think it does. But that is good if you don't like to ever have to put it onto the palette again. So, is it a bug or is it a feature? Infinite paint. That's one thing you start to wish you had in reality. Infinite paint never runs out. That's weird. It's doing this sort of smear thing. Wonder what's up with that. Pixels of color. Try opaque once again. Okay, that's back to a look, and you can see it's got some sort of wet areas suggested on there by the shininess. The question is, does it ever, quote, dry out? Or does that look remain on the canvas? Can I fling paint? I can sort of dab the paint, but I can't fling it off of the brush. Looking kind of interesting there. Anyway, this is VJ Franz K looking into another app that you can get on Oculus Quest, and in order to find this one you will have to type art space studio space VR into the search, and then it'll come up because it's an app lab app. These are early apps which they haven't, I guess, earned full honors yet to be on the store and the main page, but a lot of my favorite apps are still in the app lab, so I say it's very worth it to investigate them. And let's see, I'm going to list my referral link here also in the comments. I noticed a couple of people clicked my referral link that I listed after reviewing some of these other apps, and thank you for that. Hey, we both get some free app credits from that, so it's worth doing. It'll be, well, the amount varies depending on what promotion is going on, but it's still worth doing because we will both get free app credits. And using your free app credits, you could buy this app, which at the time that I'm doing this, it was 15 on the store. Might go up later or down. You notice they sometimes have sales on the store. See, there's that wobble depending on, am I using it nicely and lightly? Because I can get a good thin pointed brush line there if I try. Or go to a fairly thick line if I'm putting a lot of pressure down, but some of these crooked lines are because I'm putting too much pressure on the brush and it's sort of leaning into the canvas. So and need I say, please like this video if you do like it, and subscribe to me on YouTube, because both of those things, that's the best one of the best ways to help out your favorite creators on YouTube. And I also have a Patreon page, which it would be nice if you would join that. But see if you like all of my videos about creative technology. A lot of the time I'm talking about music, but these days I sort of mix up the subject between creative technology. It's going to be visual, it's going to be sound, or maybe something else entirely. Sometimes I will cover other things, or gaming. My favorite games are those that have some creative aspect to them, like a level builder, or recently I entered the R-Type contest where you could customize your spaceship. But that's definitely the focus of the channel. Alright, another masterpiece taking shape before your eyes, right? This is my favorite brush, a nice large pointed brush. It's not really something that Bob Ross emphasized, but I will emphasize it. Notice, leave it to levitate Switch to translucent paint. Let it levitate. Goes with the kind of dream-like feel of painting in this app, ArtstudioVR. I like it. You do have a few choices for VR painting now on your Oculus Quest, and you have more if you're painting on PC VR, which is Oculus Rift or Vive or these other headsets, or you can do connect your Quest with the link cable to a VR capable PC, and then that opens up another set of apps for you to use. Please leave your constructive comments and thoughts, questions, and such on the video. I do usually answer my comments. Alright, we're going to try and photograph this one. Let it levitate there. Get the camera. Focus carefully. And photograph it. Try it again. Focus carefully. Photograph it. Dots are going over. I wonder why it is not saving correctly. That is truly unusual, but figure that out later. VJ Franz K signing out for today from the Art Studio VR.